Alright, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the fucking friendly neighborhood fascist, me. And I'm coming at you with a review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 8, Jojolion, uh, Chapter 52. Now, for those that may not remember, since it has been about a month, where we left off was Josephumi and Kira were on a boat. Right, they're on a boat, talking about the Rokakaka plant, Rokakaka, and so then Damo and Yagima find them, and they question them a bit. They do a bit of fighting, but ultimately Josephumi and Kira are pulled soft because of Damo's ability. So we're left off at there, and Damo starts off by pretty much just taking a chunk right out of Kira. I mean, the actual intention for this was to get his cell phone out, but he still snagged a bit from him as well. I think later on in the chapter he says that he took a bit of his liver. So that's pretty brutal. Nothing more brutal than slashing a motherfucker with a $10 bill. And this one it wasn't a $10 bill, but I mean it's just a bill. So he's just torturing him for a bit, asking him some questions, saying where the Rokakaka is, all that kind of stuff. And then he goes on to say that he's actually only going to kill one of them. He only wants to kill one. He says the first one that talks is going to be the one that he lets live. And so right there, creates a lot of tension, and I cannot get up here to save my life. There we go. As soon as he does that, Josephumi goes into this whole internal monologue about how he's always being abandoned. He goes back to a few chapters ago. Maybe it was even the chapter right before this. It goes into his backstory. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. It goes into his backstory about going to the beach and almost drowning and getting abandoned by his little babysitter or whatever. So there's that. And that's never good. And you can tell that he's pretty much about to blab. And right before he does, Kira starts talking about how they've got backup coming, right? And if you've been paying attention at all, you know that that's a complete bluff, right? They don't get anyone but themselves for the most part. And Damo actually points this out as well. They did some of their homework, so they know that they're just a two-man team. But then something surprising happens, where Carrera shows up, the one that has the crush on Josephumi, and she's holding the cell phones that Damo just took off of Josephumi and Kira and threw into the water, so obviously they're a bit freaked out by this. And Yagima uses his stand to go and pin her down, and while he does this, Kira reveals that he has 2 sheer heart attacks, just right there, in her hair. So he explodes all of that, and shit just gets completely fucked for the most part. And that was really interesting how the whole explosion was drawn, I felt. So it's a bit confusing, but I mean, explosions are confusing anyways. So everything clears up, and then Josephumi and Kira are on the island. Well, they're on the shore right by where they had the plants. And he's telling Kira that he's got to eat one, right? So, along with that, he also mentions that he was about to blab. But I mean, at this point, he's just kind of talking because Kira is unresponsive. He's been through a lot. Got part of his liver taken out. It's bad news for him. And it cuts back to Damo and Yagima, who also survived but are on the shore by the harbor. There's a bunch of cop cars, a bunch of fire trucks and everything. So they pretty much got to bail, and he says that they're going to start focusing on just killing them rather than finding the fruit. They decided that that's what was going to happen. So that gives us a bit of knowledge as to how everything, you know, came about. Because before, you know, it just kind of seemed like, oh, these guys were coming out of nowhere, but now you know that there was actually a very good reason why all these stone people are even, you know, around here in the first place. But he didn't mention Jobin, which I thought was interesting, because for a lot of people were thinking Jobin's definitely gotta have, well, he definitely has some kind of affiliation with them. That's how they were able to beat the other guy with the long-range whirlwind stand. I can't remember the name right now, but yeah, they were able to beat him because they tricked him into seeing Jobin instead of a fucking bus. But whatever, that shit was crazy. It's in the past, whatever. But they didn't mention him, so that makes me wonder what his deal is. I mean, obviously he wouldn't need to be told to go around to that area because he lives there. Well, I mean, that's where his family lives, at least. I mean, he's not there a lot, supposedly. So yeah, there's that. And it cuts back to Josefumi and Kira for a bit, and Kira's still unresponsive, but he decides he's going to pretty much force feed Kira. And when he does that, he mentions the name of his stand, and it's Soft and Wet. So I guess that gives us a bit of insight. Gives us a bit of insight as to Josuke, because his stand's Soft and Wet. Carrera kind of still sees him as Josefumi. So I guess character-wise, Josuke is a lot more like Josefumi, but he still kind of has the outwards appearance of Kira at this point. So I think that's interesting how apparently, like, being buried, well, both of them being buried, changed him, like, you know, mixed them together the way that they did. But we haven't gotten there yet, because all we saw was Kira start freaking out as he took the fruit that Josefumi pretty much forced at him. So yeah, I think that was pretty much all the stuff that happened in the chapter. That was, I mean, I pretty much recapped the chapter. I thought it was a really good chapter, so it's worth mentioning most of the stuff. But I don't know. I think that's probably it. Overall, you know, it was very good. I'm really looking forward to the next one. You know, we'll see how this whole thing ends, I'm pretty sure. And hopefully we'll get back to the fights in the present time, because that's kind of just been pushed to the sidelines for now. So I guess that'll be it for my little review. Whatever you guys thought, it'd be nice to hear in the comments. And I guess I will see you around.